Ever wondered why some people effortlessly influence others while you struggle? The audiobook, Persuasion Decoded, Master Influence with First Principles Thinking, reveals the secrets. Discover how to break down persuasion to its core elements, unlocking unparalleled influence in personal and professional spheres. Miss out, and you'll continue wrestling with ineffective tactics. Embrace it, and watch as your persuasive power transforms relationships, negotiations, and your entire approach to communication. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1, First Principles Focus. In a world inundated with information and ever-evolving communication strategies, the art of persuasion remains a cornerstone of human interaction. Yet, amidst the noise of countless techniques and methodologies, we often lose sight of the fundamental elements that truly drive influence. This is where the power of first principles thinking comes into play, offering a revolutionary approach to mastering persuasion. Imagine stripping away all preconceived notions about influence and starting from scratch. What if you could rebuild your understanding of persuasion from its most basic components, creating a framework that's not only more effective, but also uniquely tailored to your strengths and situations? This is the promise of first principles thinking applied to the art of persuasion. First principles thinking is not a new concept. Its roots trace back to ancient philosophy, with Aristotle being one of its earliest proponents. He believed that to truly understand something, one must break it down to its most fundamental truths. In modern times, innovators like Elon Musk have brought this approach to the forefront, using it to revolutionize industries from electric cars to space travel. But what does this mean for persuasion? It means questioning everything we think we know about influence and rebuilding our strategies from the ground up. It's about identifying the core elements that make persuasion effective and using them as building blocks for more powerful, authentic, and adaptable approaches to influence. As we embark on this journey of discovery, it's crucial to understand what you can expect to achieve as you work through this book. First and foremost, you'll grasp the concept of first principles thinking. This isn't just about memorizing a definition. It's about internalizing a new way of approaching problems and ideas. You'll learn to break down complex concepts into their most basic elements, a skill that extends far beyond persuasion. Applying this mindset to persuasion, you'll begin to deconstruct common techniques and strategies. What makes them work? What are the underlying psychological principles at play? By answering these questions, you'll start to see persuasion not as a set of tricks or tactics, but as a fundamental aspect of human interaction rooted in basic needs, desires, and cognitive processes. This deconstruction leads to the next crucial achievement: developing a foundation for authentic influence. As you understand the core components of persuasion, you'll be able to build strategies that are not only effective, but also align with your values and natural strengths. This authenticity is key to long-term success in influencing others, as it builds trust and genuine connections. But the journey doesn't end there. The true power of first principles thinking in persuasion reveals itself over time, as you continue to apply and refine your understanding. With consistent practice, you'll achieve a level of mastery in persuasion skills that goes beyond simply applying techniques. You'll develop an intuitive understanding of influence, allowing you to adapt and create strategies on the fly in any situation. This mastery opens doors to enhanced creativity and problem-solving in your interactions. By understanding the fundamental principles at play, you'll be able to innovate new approaches tailored to specific challenges. Whether you're navigating complex negotiations, leading a team through change, or simply trying to convince a friend to try a new restaurant, you'll have the tools to craft unique and effective persuasive strategies. Perhaps most importantly, This approach fosters lifelong learning and adaptability. The world of communication and influence is constantly evolving, with new platforms, cultural shifts, and technological advancements changing the landscape. By grounding your understanding in first principles, you'll be equipped to continually grow and adapt your persuasion strategies as situations evolve, ensuring your influence remains effective no matter the context. So, what's involved in this transformative process, and what are the most important steps? The journey begins with embracing a learning mindset. This means being open to questioning and rethinking existing beliefs about persuasion. It requires a willingness to admit that what you thought you knew might be incomplete or even incorrect. This can be challenging, especially if you've had success with certain techniques in the past, but it's this openness that allows for true growth and innovation. With this mindset in place, the next crucial step is deconstructing concepts. This involves breaking down persuasion into its fundamental principles. What are the basic elements of human motivation? How do cognitive biases influence decision-making? What role do emotions play in influence? By examining these core components, you'll build a comprehensive understanding of what truly drives persuasion. Armed with this knowledge, you can then move on to rebuilding strategies. This is where the magic happens. Using the fundamental principles you've identified, you'll construct new, effective persuasion techniques from the basics. These strategies will be more flexible, more authentic, and more powerful than off-the-shelf techniques because they're built on a deep understanding of the underlying mechanics of influence. Why are these steps so important, and why have they been presented in this order? The answer lies in the nature of true learning and mastery. By starting with establishing a solid foundation in first principles thinking, you ensure that all subsequent learning is built on a robust base. Understanding the basics before moving to complex applications is crucial for long-term success. It prevents the common pitfall of learning techniques without understanding why they work, which often leads to ineffective or inauthentic application. The step-by-step approach promotes deep understanding rather than surface-level knowledge. By breaking down concepts before rebuilding them, you're forced to engage with the material on a fundamental level. This fosters comprehensive knowledge that goes beyond mere memorization of techniques. Finally, this organized progression facilitates practical application. As you move from understanding principles to rebuilding strategies, you're naturally guided towards applying concepts effectively in real life. The knowledge isn't abstract, it's immediately applicable to your daily interactions and challenges. As we delve deeper into the world of persuasion through the lens of first principles thinking, you'll discover that influence is not about manipulating others or using clever tricks. It's about understanding human nature at its core and aligning your communication with fundamental truths about how people think, feel, and make decisions. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore the various components that make up effective persuasion. From understanding core human motivations to decoding the decision-making process, from building trust to navigating cognitive biases, each chapter will peel back another layer of the persuasion puzzle. You'll learn about the power of reciprocity and how it shapes human interactions. You'll discover how to harness emotions to make your messages more impactful while maintaining ethical standards. We'll explore the importance of adapting your strategies to different individuals and contexts, ensuring that your influence is always relevant and effective. Throughout this journey, you'll be challenged to think critically, to question assumptions, and to apply your learning in practical ways. The exercises and insights provided will not just be theoretical, they'll be tools you can immediately put into practice to enhance your persuasive abilities. As we conclude this introductory chapter, it's important to remember that mastering persuasion through first principles thinking is not a destination, but a journey. It's a process of continuous learning, adaptation, and refinement. The principles you'll learn in this book are timeless, but their application will evolve as you grow and as the world around you changes. The path ahead is exciting and full of potential. By embracing first principles, thinking in persuasion, you're not just learning a new skill, you're adopting a new way of seeing the world and interacting with others. You're embarking on a journey that will transform not only how you influence others, but also how you understand yourself and human interaction as a whole. As we move forward, prepare to challenge your assumptions, to think deeply, and to see persuasion in a whole new light. The next chapter will dive into the core of human motivation, unraveling the fundamental drives that shape our decisions and behaviors. Are you ready to uncover the hidden forces that truly move people to action? Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Motivation Unveiled. As we delve deeper into the art of persuasion, we encounter a fundamental truth that often eludes even the most seasoned communicators. The key to influence lies not in what we say, but in understanding why people listen. This chapter will take you on a journey into the heart of human behavior, unveiling the hidden forces that drive our actions, decisions, and responses to persuasive efforts. Imagine for a moment that you possessed a map of the human psyche, a guide that revealed the deepest desires and needs that motivate every individual you encounter. How would this transform your ability to connect, influence, and inspire? This is the power of understanding motivation, and it's a critical component in the arsenal of anyone seeking to master the art of persuasion. But why is this understanding so crucial? At its core, persuasion is about alignment. When your message resonates with the core desires of your audience, it ceases to be mere words and becomes a catalyst for action. By aligning your communication with what truly matters to others, you enhance not just the relevance of your persuasion, but its impact as well. This alignment is the difference between a message that falls on deaf ears and one that ignites passion and drives change. Moreover, this approach to persuasion fosters something far more valuable than momentary influence: authentic connections. When you address the genuine needs and motivations of others, you build trust and rapport that extends far beyond a single interaction. You're no longer seen as someone trying to push an agenda, but as an ally who understands and values what's truly important to them. To harness this power, we must first explore the psychology of motivation. At its most basic level, motivation can be divided into two categories: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation comes from within, driven by personal interest, enjoyment, or alignment with one's values. It's the force that compels an artist to create, not for fame or fortune, but for the sheer joy of expression. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from external factors such as rewards, recognition, or the avoidance of punishment. Understanding this distinction is crucial because it influences how people respond to different types of persuasive appeals. An approach that relies heavily on external rewards might work in the short term, but fail to inspire lasting change or commitment. Conversely, tapping into intrinsic motivations can lead to more sustainable and profound shifts in behavior and attitude. But motivation is far more complex than this simple dichotomy. To truly understand what drives human behavior, we need to explore deeper frameworks that have shaped our understanding of motivation. One of the most influential is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow proposed that human needs are arranged in a hierarchy from the most basic physiological needs at the bottom to self-actualization at the top. This hierarchy suggests that individuals are motivated to fulfill basic needs before moving on to more complex ones. While this theory has evolved over time, its core insight remains valuable. People are driven by different needs at different times, and understanding where someone is in this hierarchy can provide crucial insights into their motivations. For instance, someone struggling with financial security, a lower-level need, may be less receptive to appeals focused on self-expression or personal growth, higher-level needs. By recognizing this, you can tailor your persuasive efforts to address the most pressing concerns of your audience, making your message far more relevant and compelling. Building on this foundation, we encounter another powerful framework, self-determination theory. This theory proposes that human motivation is fundamentally driven by three core needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Autonomy refers to our desire for control over our lives and actions. Competence speaks to our need to feel capable and effective in our endeavors. Relatedness addresses our innate desire for connection and belonging with others. These three needs form a powerful lens through which to view human motivation. When we feel that these needs are met, we're more likely to be intrinsically motivated, engaged, and receptive to new ideas. Conversely, when these needs are thwarted, we may become resistant, disengaged, or seek to fulfill them in less constructive ways. Understanding these core human desires allows us to craft persuasive messages that resonate on a deeper level. Let's explore each of these in more detail. The desire for autonomy is a powerful force in human psychology. We all want to feel that we're in control of our lives, making choices that align with our values and goals. This need for autonomy has significant implications for persuasion. Heavy-handed or coercive approaches often backfire because they threaten this sense of autonomy. Instead, effective persuasion respects and even enhances the audience's sense of choice and control. Next, we have the need for competence. Humans have an innate drive to master their environment, to grow, learn, and feel effective in their actions. This desire for competence manifests in our pursuit of knowledge, skills, and recognition. In the context of persuasion, addressing this need can be incredibly powerful. Messages that offer pathways to growth, that acknowledge existing skills, or that provide opportunities for mastery are often highly motivating. Lastly, the need for connection is a fundamental aspect of human nature. We are social creatures, driven by a desire to belong, to form meaningful relationships, and to be part of something larger than ourselves. This seeking of connection influences a wide range of behaviors and decisions. Persuasive efforts that tap into this need, that offer opportunities for meaningful social interaction, or that align with group identities, can be particularly effective. But understanding these motivations in theory is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in identifying these motivations in others. This is where the art of persuasion truly comes alive, requiring keen observation, active listening, and genuine empathy. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's about tuning into the underlying emotions, values, and motivations that drive those words. It involves observing nonverbal cues, asking thoughtful, open-ended questions, and creating a space where others feel comfortable expressing their true thoughts and feelings. By practicing active listening, you gather invaluable insights into what truly motivates the person you're trying to influence. Equally important is the practice of empathy and perspective taking. This involves putting yourself in the other person's shoes, trying to see the world from their point of view. It's about understanding not just what they think, but why they think it. This deep level of understanding allows you to craft messages and approaches that truly resonate with their unique perspective and motivations. Armed with this understanding, the next step is aligning your persuasive efforts with these motivations. This is where the rubber meets the road, where theory transforms into practical, effective communication. Tailoring your messages to individual needs is not about manipulation. It's about relevance. It's about speaking to what matters most to your audience, framing your ideas in a way that connects with their core desires and motivations. However, with this power comes responsibility. Ethical considerations are paramount when leveraging motivational insights for persuasion. The goal should always be to respect autonomy and promote mutual benefit. Persuasion at its best is not about getting others to do what you want, but about finding alignment between your goals and theirs, creating win-win scenarios that benefit all parties involved. To truly master this approach, practice is essential. One powerful exercise is motivation mapping. This involves analyzing various scenarios or interactions, identifying the underlying motivations at play, and considering how you might align your communication with these motivations. Start with simple scenarios and gradually increase complexity as you become more adept at recognizing motivational cues. Another valuable practice is empathy development. This can involve exercises like perspective-taking journaling, where you write from the point of view of others, trying to understand their thoughts, feelings, and motivations. Or you might engage in active listening exercises, focusing on truly understanding others without immediately formulating responses. As you embark on this journey of understanding and leveraging motivation and persuasion, it's important to consider the range of possible outcomes. At a basic level, you'll likely see an improved ability to connect with others. You'll find yourself more attuned to the underlying currents in conversations, better able to establish rapport and understanding. With continued practice and refinement, you can achieve enhanced influence through tailored communication. Your persuasive efforts will become more nuanced, more relevant, and ultimately more effective. You'll be able to craft messages that speak directly to the core motivations of your audience, increasing the likelihood of positive reception and action. At the highest level of mastery, you'll develop an intuitive ability to align your persuasive efforts with core motivations for maximum impact. This isn't about applying a formula. It's about developing a deep, almost instinctive understanding of human motivation that allows you to navigate even the most complex persuasive scenarios with skill and authenticity. Of course, this journey is not without its challenges. One of the most common pitfalls is misinterpreting motivations, leading to ineffective persuasion. This can happen when we project our own motivations onto others or when we make assumptions based on superficial observations. The key to overcoming this challenge is continuous practice of active listening and seeking feedback. Be open to the possibility that your initial assessment might be incorrect and always be willing to adjust your approach based on new information. As we conclude this exploration of motivation and persuasion, it's clear that understanding the driving forces behind human behavior is a powerful tool in the art of influence. By aligning our messages with the core desires and needs of others, we can create persuasive communications that resonate on a deeper level, fostering authentic connections and driving meaningful action. But motivation is just one piece of the persuasion puzzle. As we move forward, we'll delve into another crucial aspect of influence, the intricate process of decision-making. How do people actually arrive at their choices? What hidden factors sway their judgments? In our next chapter, we'll unravel these mysteries, peering into the black box of human cognition to reveal the surprising truths about how decisions are really made. Are you ready to decode the enigma of choice? Chapter 3: Decoding Decisions. In the intricate dance of persuasion, understanding the rhythm of human decision-making is paramount. As we embark on this exploration, imagine yourself as a skilled detective, peering into the hidden recesses of the mind, unraveling the mysteries of how choices are made. This chapter will equip you with the tools to decode the complex processes that underlie every decision, from the most mundane to the most consequential. At first glance, decision-making might seem straightforward, a simple matter of weighing options and selecting the best one. But beneath this surface lies a labyrinth of psychological processes, each playing a crucial role in shaping our choices. By understanding these processes, you gain the power to craft messages that resonate deeply, overcoming resistance and enhancing your persuasive effectiveness. The importance of this knowledge cannot be overstated. When you align your persuasive approaches with the natural flow of decision-making, you're no longer pushing against the current, but moving in harmony with it. This alignment allows you to tailor your messages in ways that feel natural and compelling to your audience, significantly enhancing your ability to influence. Moreover, this understanding provides the key to overcoming one of the greatest challenges in persuasion: resistance. By recognizing the biases and barriers that often impede influence, you can address them head-on, clearing the path for your message to be truly heard and acted upon. As we delve deeper into the mechanics of decision-making, we encounter a fundamental concept that has revolutionized our understanding of human cognition: the dual process theory of thinking. This theory proposes that our minds operate on two distinct systems, each with its own characteristics and roles in shaping our decisions. The first system, often referred to as System 1, is our intuitive thinking mode. It operates quickly, automatically, and with little conscious effort. This is the system responsible for our gut reactions, our instinctive judgments, and our immediate emotional responses. It's the voice in your head that instantly decides whether you like someone upon first meeting them, or the feeling that guides you to choose one product over another without much deliberation. System 1 thinking is incredibly powerful and efficient, allowing us to navigate the complexities of daily life without becoming overwhelmed by constant analysis. It draws on our past experiences, our emotions, and our ingrained patterns of thought to make rapid assessments and decisions. However, its speed and efficiency come at a cost. It's prone to biases and can sometimes lead us astray, especially in complex or unfamiliar situations. On the other hand, we have System 2, our analytical thinking mode. This system is slower, more deliberate, and requires conscious effort. It's the part of our mind that we engage when we're solving a complex problem, weighing the pros and cons of a major decision, or trying to understand a new concept. System 2 thinking is logical, methodical, and capable of handling abstract ideas and hypothetical scenarios. While System 2 is more accurate and less prone to biases than System 1, it's also more taxing on our mental resources. This is why we often default to System 1 thinking, reserving System 2 for situations that we perceive as particularly important or complex. Understanding this dual nature of our thinking processes is crucial for effective persuasion. It explains why some messages resonate immediately on an emotional level, while others require more time and consideration to take hold. It also highlights the importance of crafting persuasive appeals that engage both systems, capturing attention and evoking emotion with System 1, while providing substance and logical support for System 2. But the story of decision-making doesn't end with these two systems. Another crucial factor that shapes our choices is the interplay between emotions and rational thought. For years, emotions were seen as impediments to good decision-making, something to be overcome or ignored in favor of pure logic. However, modern research has revealed a much more nuanced picture. Emotions play a vital role in decision-making, often serving as a compass that guides us towards choices aligned with our values and long-term well-being. They provide the motivation and energy that drive us to action, and they help us quickly assess situations based on past experiences. Without emotions, decision-making becomes impaired, as evidenced by studies of individuals with certain types of brain damage that affect emotional processing. At the same time, logical reasoning remains a critical component of sound decision-making. It allows us to analyze complex situations, consider multiple perspectives, and make choices based on evidence and careful consideration. The ideal decision-making process involves a balance between emotional insight and logical analysis. For persuaders, this means crafting messages that appeal to both the heart and the mind. A purely emotional appeal might generate initial excitement but fail to withstand scrutiny. Conversely, a purely logical argument might be sound but fail to motivate action. The most effective persuasion strikes a balance, evoking emotion while also providing rational justification. As we continue our journey into the realm of decision-making, we encounter another crucial factor: cognitive biases. These are systematic errors in thinking that can affect our judgments and decisions. They're like optical illusions of the mind. Even when we're aware of them, they can still influence our perceptions and choices. Some common biases include confirmation bias, where we tend to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring contradictory evidence. Anchoring bias, where we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive when making decisions. And the availability heuristic, where we overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily remembered or imagined. Recognizing these biases is the first step in addressing them. As a persuader, understanding common biases allows you to anticipate potential obstacles to your message and devise strategies to overcome them. For instance, knowing about confirmation bias might lead you to present information in a way that doesn't immediately threaten existing beliefs, gradually introducing new perspectives. Moreover, by helping your audience recognize and mitigate their own biases, you can position yourself as a trusted advisor, someone who's interested in helping them make better decisions rather than simply pushing an agenda. With this understanding of the psychological underpinnings of decision-making, we can now explore specific techniques for influencing the decision process. One powerful approach is framing. The way information is presented can significantly impact how it's perceived and acted upon. The same facts, presented in different frames, can lead to dramatically different decisions. For example, framing a choice in terms of potential gains versus potential losses can significantly affect risk tolerance. People tend to be more risk-averse when considering potential gains and more risk-seeking when considering potential losses. By carefully considering how you frame your message, you can influence the perceived value and desirability of the options you present. Another effective technique is simplifying choices. In our complex world, decision fatigue is a real phenomenon. When faced with too many options or overly complex decisions, people often default to the status quo or make choices they later regret. By simplifying the decision process, breaking complex choices into smaller, more manageable decisions, or clearly highlighting the most relevant factors, you can make it easier for your audience to arrive at a decision aligned with your persuasive goals. As we synthesize these insights into practical persuasion strategies, the importance of balancing emotional appeals with logical arguments becomes clear. Emotional appeals tap into System 1 thinking, creating immediate resonance and motivation. They can be incredibly powerful, capable of inspiring action and forming lasting impressions. Techniques like storytelling, vivid imagery, and appeals to shared values can all create strong emotional connections. However, emotional appeals alone may not be sufficient, especially for significant decisions or when addressing a skeptical audience. This is where logical arguments come into play, engaging System 2 thinking. Presenting clear evidence, explaining cause and effect relationships, and anticipating and addressing potential counterarguments all contribute to building credibility and providing the rational justification that many people need to feel confident in their decisions. The art of persuasion lies in weaving these emotional and logical elements together into a cohesive message. It's about creating a narrative that feels intuitively right while also standing up to careful scrutiny. To truly master these concepts, practice is essential. One valuable exercise is bias identification practice. This involves analyzing various scenarios or real-world situations to spot the cognitive biases at play. As you become more adept at recognizing these biases in hypothetical situations, you'll find it easier to identify and address them in your actual persuasive efforts. Another crucial practice is message crafting workshops. These exercises involve creating persuasive messages for various scenarios, consciously balancing emotional appeals with logical arguments. The goal is to develop the skill of crafting messages that engage both System 1 and System 2 thinking, that frame information effectively, and that simplify complex choices without losing important nuances. As you apply these principles and practices, you can expect to see a range of outcomes. At a basic level, you'll develop an improved understanding of decision-making processes. This alone can significantly enhance your persuasive abilities, as you'll be more attuned to the factors influencing your audience's choices. With continued practice and refinement, you can achieve the ability to influence choices effectively. You'll be able to craft messages that resonate with your audience's intuitive thinking while also satisfying their need for logical justification. You'll become adept at framing information in ways that highlight its value and relevance, and at simplifying complex decisions to facilitate action. At the highest level of mastery, you'll develop the ability to craft messages that resonate deeply and consistently lead to desired actions. This isn't about manipulation, but about creating alignment, presenting your ideas in ways that genuinely appeal to your audience's needs, values, and decision-making processes. Of course, this journey is not without its challenges. One common pitfall is overcomplicating messages in an attempt to address every aspect of the decision-making process. This can lead to confusion and decision paralysis, undermining your persuasive efforts. The solution lies in practicing the art of simplification, learning to distill complex ideas into clear, compelling messages that capture the essence of your argument without overwhelming your audience. As we conclude this exploration of decision-making, we've unveiled the hidden mechanisms that drive our choices, from the dual systems of thinking to the interplay of emotion and logic, from the influence of cognitive biases to the power of framing. Armed with this knowledge, you're now better equipped to navigate the complex landscape of human decision-making, crafting persuasive messages that resonate deeply and inspire action. But our journey through the realms of influence is far from over. As we peer ahead, a new dimension of persuasion comes into focus, one that shapes the very foundation of human interaction. What unseen force binds individuals together, creating obligations and expectations that can sway decisions more powerfully than any logical argument? In our next chapter, we'll unravel this mystery, exploring a principle so fundamental to human nature that mastering it can transform your persuasive capabilities. Are you prepared to discover the hidden threads that connect us all? Chapter 4: Reciprocity Dynamics. In the intricate tapestry of human interactions, there exists a thread so fundamental, so deeply woven into the fabric of our social nature, that its influence often goes unnoticed. Yet this invisible force shapes our relationships, drives our decisions, and holds the key to unlocking profound levels of influence. As we embark on this chapter, we'll unravel the mystery of this powerful principle, exploring how it can transform your ability to persuade and build lasting, meaningful connections. Imagine a world where every interaction is a one-way street, where favors are never returned and kindness is met with indifference. Such a world would quickly crumble, as the bonds that hold society together would fray and snap. Fortunately, our reality is quite different, thanks to the principle we're about to explore. This principle is so ingrained in human behavior that it transcends cultural boundaries, appearing in societies across the globe. It's a silent agreement, an unwritten rule that governs how we interact with one another. But what exactly is this mysterious force, and why does it hold such sway over our actions? At its core, this principle is about balance, about the give and take that characterizes healthy relationships. It's the reason why we feel compelled to reciprocate when someone does something nice for us, and why we expect others to do the same. This is the principle of reciprocity, and understanding its dynamics is crucial for anyone seeking to master the art of persuasion. The importance of reciprocity in building trust and cooperation cannot be overstated. When we engage in reciprocal behavior, we're not just exchanging favors or goods. We're establishing a foundation of mutual benefit that can support strong, lasting relationships. This mutual benefit creates a sense of obligation, but not in a negative sense. Rather, it's a positive force that encourages cooperation and fosters goodwill. Moreover, reciprocity is a powerful tool for enhancing influence. When you understand and skillfully apply the principles of reciprocity, you create an environment where others are naturally inclined to respond positively to your initiatives. This isn't about manipulation or coercion. It's about creating a cycle of positive interactions that benefit all parties involved. To truly grasp the power of reciprocity, we need to delve into its psychological foundations. At its most basic level, reciprocity is rooted in our evolutionary history. Early humans who cooperated and shared resources were more likely to survive and pass on their genes. Over time, this cooperative behavior became hardwired into our psychology, manifesting as the strong urge to reciprocate that we feel today. This urge is so strong that it often overrides other considerations. We've all experienced situations where we felt obligated to return a favor, even if it was inconvenient or not entirely in our best interest. This is the power of reciprocity at work, and it's a force that skilled persuaders can leverage to great effect. But reciprocity isn't just about returning favors. It's a complex social norm with its own set of expectations and rules. In most cultures, there's an unspoken understanding that favors should be returned in kind, and that failure to do so is a social faux pas. This creates a sort of social debt that people feel compelled to repay, often as soon as possible, to alleviate the sense of obligation. Understanding these social norms and expectations is crucial for effectively applying the principle of reciprocity. It's not enough to simply do favors and expect returns. You need to be attuned to the subtle nuances of how reciprocity operates in different contexts and cultures. One of the most powerful aspects of reciprocity is the concept of creating value first. This approach, often described as giving before receiving, is a cornerstone of building influential relationships. When you offer assistance, share resources, or provide value without expecting immediate return, you set in motion a powerful dynamic. By giving first, you demonstrate generosity and good faith. This not only creates a sense of obligation in the recipient, but also establishes you as a valuable and trustworthy individual. It's a proactive approach to relationship building that can yield significant dividends over time. However, it's important to note that the value you create doesn't have to be monetary or even tangible. Sometimes, the most impactful gifts are intangible: your time, your expertise, or even just a listening ear. The key is to offer something that is genuinely valuable to the recipient, something that addresses their needs or helps them solve a problem. This approach of creating value first ties directly into strategies for building strong relationships. Effective networking, for instance, isn't about collecting business cards or making superficial connections. It's about establishing meaningful relationships based on mutual benefit and respect. When you approach networking with a mindset of reciprocity, you're not just looking for what others can do for you. Instead, you're constantly seeking ways to add value to your connections. This might involve making introductions, sharing insights, or offering support. By doing so, you create a network of relationships characterized by mutual respect and support. This mutual respect is crucial for long-term influence. When people feel respected and valued, they're more likely to be receptive to your ideas and willing to support your initiatives. It creates a positive feedback loop where respect begets respect and support encourages further support. However, as with any powerful tool, the principle of reciprocity must be applied ethically. There's a fine line between leveraging reciprocity for mutual benefit and manipulating others for personal gain. Crossing this line not only undermines the effectiveness of your persuasion efforts, but can also damage your relationships and reputation. The key to ethical application of reciprocity lies in authenticity and genuine concern for others' well-being. Your acts of giving should come from a place of sincerity, not calculation. When you genuinely seek to create value for others without expecting immediate return, you foster an environment of trust and goodwill that naturally leads to positive reciprocation. Moreover, ethical application of reciprocity focuses on fostering long-term collaboration rather than short-term gains. It's about building relationships that stand the test of time, relationships characterized by ongoing engagement and mutual support. This long-term perspective not only leads to more sustainable influence, but also creates a network of strong, mutually beneficial connections that can support your goals for years to come. When it comes to persuasive communication, the principle of reciprocity can be a powerful ally. By offering value in your messages, whether through helpful insights, useful information, or even just a fresh perspective, you create a sense of indebtedness in your audience. This doesn't mean that every communication should come with a tangible offer, but rather that you should always strive to provide something of value to your audience. This value-first approach in communication encourages positive responses. When people feel that they've received something of worth from you, they're more likely to give your ideas fair consideration. They're also more inclined to reciprocate by being open to your suggestions or supporting your initiatives. To truly master the dynamics of reciprocity, practice is essential. One effective exercise is to plan and execute genuine acts of giving. This doesn't mean grand gestures. Often, small, thoughtful acts can be just as impactful. The key is to make these acts genuine and tailored to the recipient's needs or interests. Another valuable practice is relationship mapping. This involves identifying key connections in your personal and professional networks and strategizing ways to strengthen these relationships through reciprocal actions. This exercise not only helps you apply the principle of reciprocity more effectively, but also gives you a clearer picture of your relationship ecosystem. As you begin to apply these principles and practices, you can expect to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you'll likely notice improved relationships with increased cooperation. People will be more willing to help you, support your ideas, and engage positively with your initiatives. With continued practice and refinement, you can achieve enhanced influence through strong networks. You'll find that your ability to persuade and mobilize support for your ideas increases as you build a reputation for being generous and trustworthy. At the highest level of mastery, you can establish yourself as a trusted and influential leader. This is the pinnacle of applying reciprocity dynamics, when you become known not just for what you can do, but for how you empower and support others. At this level, your influence extends far beyond direct reciprocation, as people are naturally drawn to your leadership and eager to support your vision. Of course, this journey is not without its challenges. One of the most significant pitfalls is the risk of your actions being perceived as manipulative. This can happen if your acts of giving seem calculated or if there's a clear expectation of immediate return. The solution lies in ensuring sincerity in your actions and focusing on genuine mutual benefit rather than personal gain. Another potential issue is the risk of burnout from constantly giving without receiving. It's important to remember that healthy reciprocity is a two-way street. While it's powerful to give first, it's also important to allow others the opportunity to reciprocate and to graciously accept when they do. As we conclude this exploration of reciprocity dynamics, we've unveiled a principle that lies at the heart of human interaction. We've seen how understanding and skillfully applying this principle can transform your ability to build relationships, exert influence, and achieve your goals. By creating value first, fostering mutual respect, and approaching every interaction with a mindset of reciprocity, you set the stage for profound and lasting influence. But as powerful as reciprocity is, it's just one piece of the persuasion puzzle. As we look ahead to our next chapter, we encounter a concept that serves as the very foundation of influence. It's a quality so essential that without it, all our efforts at persuasion would crumble. What is this mysterious element that can make or break our ability to influence others? How can we cultivate it, and what happens when it's lost? Prepare to delve into the very core of persuasive power as we uncover the secret that lies at the heart of all lasting influence. Chapter 5, Trust Foundations. In the realm of persuasion, there exists a force so fundamental, so essential, that without it, even the most eloquent words fall on deaf ears. This force acts as an invisible bridge, connecting minds and hearts, allowing ideas to flow freely and influence to take root. It's a quality that, once established, can move mountains, and when broken, can create chasms that seem impossible to cross. As we embark on this chapter, we'll explore the very bedrock of influential relationships. This foundation, when properly laid, can support the weight of your most ambitious persuasive efforts. But what exactly is this mysterious force? What makes it so crucial to the art of influence? At its core, this force is about connection. It's about creating an environment where your words are not just heard, but truly listened to. It's about fostering a relationship where your ideas are given serious consideration, even when they challenge existing beliefs. This force is none other than trust, the cornerstone of effective persuasion. The importance of trust in the realm of influence cannot be overstated. Without trust, even the most logical arguments or compelling emotional appeals will struggle to gain traction. Trust acts as a lubricant in the machinery of persuasion, allowing ideas to move smoothly from one mind to another. It's the foundation upon which all other persuasive efforts are built. Moreover, trust facilitates open communication. When people trust you, they're more likely to share their true thoughts and feelings, providing valuable insights that can inform your persuasive approach. They're also more receptive to your message, willing to consider your ideas with an open mind rather than immediate skepticism. But what exactly is trust? How can we break down this complex concept into actionable components? To answer these questions, we need to delve into the anatomy of trust, exploring the key elements that contribute to its formation and maintenance. One useful framework for understanding trust is the trust equation, which breaks trust down into 4 key components: credibility, reliability, intimacy, and self-orientation. Let's explore each of these in turn, uncovering how they contribute to the overall tapestry of trust. Credibility forms the rational basis of trust. It's about your perceived expertise and knowledge in a given area. When people see you as credible, they believe that you know what you're talking about, that your insights and opinions are worth considering. Credibility is like the foundation of a building. Without it, the entire structure of trust becomes unstable. Building credibility involves demonstrating your expertise in tangible ways. This doesn't necessarily mean flaunting your qualifications or experiences, but rather showing your knowledge through your actions and words. It's about communicating clearly and confidently, sharing insights that demonstrate your deep understanding of the subject at hand. Reliability, the second component of trust, is all about consistency and dependability. It's the bridge between what you say and what you do. When you're reliable, people know they can count on you to follow through on your commitments. This consistency builds a sense of security and predictability, essential elements of trust. Establishing reliability is a matter of keeping your promises and aligning your actions with your words. It's about being there when you say you'll be there, delivering what you say you'll deliver. Over time, this consistent behavior creates a track record that speaks louder than any words could. The third component, intimacy, might seem out of place in a discussion about professional influence. However, intimacy in this context isn't about personal closeness, but rather about emotional safety. It's the feeling that it's safe to share thoughts, feelings, and concerns without fear of judgment or reprisal. This emotional connection is what transforms a mere professional relationship into a trusted partnership. Enhancing intimacy involves active listening and appropriate sharing. It's about showing genuine interest in others' perspectives and being willing to open up about your own thoughts and intentions. This mutual vulnerability creates a bond that strengthens the overall trust in the relationship. The final component, self-orientation, is unique in that it's the only negative factor in the trust equation. Self-orientation refers to the degree to which you're perceived as focusing on your own interests rather than those of others. High self-orientation erodes trust, while low self-orientation enhances it. Reducing self-orientation involves consistently demonstrating that you prioritize others' needs and interests. It's about showing empathy and support, focusing on mutual success rather than personal gain. When people believe that you genuinely have their best interests at heart, they're far more likely to trust you and be open to your influence. Now that we've explored the components of trust, let's delve deeper into how we can actively build and maintain each of these elements. Starting with credibility, one of the most effective ways to establish expertise is through clear, confident communication. This doesn't mean using jargon or complex language. In fact, the ability to explain complex ideas in simple terms is often a mark of true expertise. Be transparent about the extent of your knowledge. If there are areas where your expertise is limited, acknowledge this openly. This honesty actually enhances your credibility rather than diminishing it. People appreciate authenticity and are more likely to trust someone who's upfront about their limitations. When it comes to reliability, the key is consistency. Make promises carefully and keep them religiously. If circumstances change and you can't fulfill a commitment, communicate this as soon as possible and offer alternative solutions. Remember, reliability isn't about being perfect, it's about being dependable and accountable. Developing intimacy in professional relationships requires a delicate balance. It's about creating an environment of emotional safety without overstepping professional boundaries. Practice active listening, showing genuine interest in others' thoughts and feelings. Share your own perspectives and experiences when appropriate, but always maintain a focus on relevance and mutual benefit. Reducing self-orientation is perhaps the most challenging aspect of building trust, as it often requires us to go against our natural instincts. We're hardwired to prioritize our own interests, but in the context of building trust, we need to consciously shift our focus to others. This doesn't mean neglecting your own needs entirely, but rather finding ways to align your interests with those of others, creating win-win scenarios. One powerful way to demonstrate low self-orientation is through empathy. Take the time to truly understand others' perspectives, needs, and challenges. Show that you're willing to put their interests first, even when it doesn't directly benefit you. This selfless approach, paradoxically, often leads to greater personal success in the long run, as it builds strong, trusting relationships that can support your goals over time. Maintaining trust over time requires ongoing effort and attention. It's not enough to establish trust initially, you need to nurture it continuously. This involves regular communication and follow-up. Keep people informed, even when there's no specific news to share. This ongoing engagement demonstrates that you value the relationship and are committed to maintaining open lines of communication. Another crucial aspect of maintaining trust is how you handle missteps. Because let's face it, no matter how trustworthy you are, there will be times when you make mistakes or fall short of expectations. The key is how you respond to these situations. Address issues promptly and directly. Take responsibility for your actions, offer sincere apologies where appropriate, and most importantly, take concrete steps to correct the issue and prevent similar problems in the future. To truly master the art of building and maintaining trust, practice is essential. One effective exercise is to implement specific trust-building activities in your relationships. This might involve setting and fulfilling small commitments, actively seeking opportunities to demonstrate empathy, or finding ways to add value to others without expectation of return. Another valuable practice is regular self-assessment. Take time to evaluate your own trustworthiness across the 4 components we've discussed. Be honest with yourself about areas where you might be falling short and develop specific plans to improve. This ongoing self-reflection and improvement is key to becoming a truly trustworthy individual. As you begin to apply these principles and practices, you can expect to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you'll likely notice increased trust in your individual relationships. People will be more open with you, more willing to consider your ideas, and more likely to support your initiatives. With continued effort and refinement, you can achieve recognition as a reliable and credible figure in your professional or personal spheres. This reputation for trustworthiness can open doors and create opportunities that might otherwise be closed to you. At the highest level of mastery, you can establish yourself as a trusted leader with widespread influence and strong networks. This is the pinnacle of trust building, when your trustworthiness becomes a cornerstone of your personal brand, attracting others who seek your guidance and support. Of course, this journey is not without its challenges. One of the most significant risks is the potential loss of trust due to inconsistencies in your behavior or communication. Even small discrepancies can erode trust over time, undermining your persuasive efforts. The solution to this challenge lies in vigilance and prompt action. Regularly assess your actions and words for consistency. If you notice any discrepancies, address them quickly and openly. Reaffirm your commitments and take concrete steps to realign your behavior with your stated values and promises. As we conclude this exploration of trust foundations, we've uncovered the critical role that trust plays in effective persuasion. We've seen how credibility, reliability, intimacy, and low self-orientation combine to create a powerful foundation for influence. By consciously building and maintaining trust, you set the stage for meaningful and lasting impact in all your persuasive efforts. But as fundamental as trust is, it's just one piece of the persuasion puzzle. As we look ahead to our next chapter, we encounter a fascinating aspect of human cognition that can either amplify or undermine our persuasive efforts. What hidden forces shape our perceptions and decisions, often without our conscious awareness? How can understanding these forces give us an edge in the art of influence? Prepare to dive into the depths of the human mind as we uncover the subtle yet powerful biases that color our view of the world and our interactions with others. Chapter 6: Bias Mechanics. In the intricate landscape of human cognition, there exists a hidden force that shapes our perceptions, influences our decisions, and colors our interactions with the world around us. This force operates silently in the background of our minds, often without our conscious awareness, yet its impact on our thoughts and behaviors is profound. As we embark on this chapter, we'll unravel the mystery of this cognitive phenomenon, exploring how it can both hinder and enhance our persuasive efforts. Imagine a world where every decision we make is purely rational, where our perceptions of reality are always accurate, and where our judgments are never clouded by preconceived notions. Such a world might seem ideal, but it's far from the reality we inhabit. Our minds, remarkable as they are not perfect instruments of logic and reason. They're subject to quirks and shortcuts that, while often useful, can sometimes lead us astray. These mental shortcuts, these quirks of cognition, are what we call cognitive biases. They're the invisible lenses through which we view the world, subtly altering our perceptions and influencing our decisions in ways we may not even realize. Understanding these biases is crucial for anyone seeking to master the art of persuasion, for they hold the key to both the challenges we face in influencing others and the opportunities we have to enhance our persuasive effectiveness. But why are these biases so important in the context of persuasion? The answer lies in the very nature of communication and influence. When we attempt to persuade others, we're not just transmitting information, we're engaging with complex cognitive systems that are constantly interpreting, filtering, and processing that information. If we're unaware of the biases at play, our carefully crafted messages may be misinterpreted, distorted, or even completely dismissed. By understanding cognitive biases, we can ensure that our messages are more likely to be interpreted as intended. We can anticipate potential misunderstandings and address them proactively. Moreover, this understanding allows us to promote ethical persuasion by avoiding manipulative tactics that exploit biases and instead fostering trust through transparent, balanced communication. To truly grasp the power of cognitive biases, we need to delve into their origins and understand how they develop. At their core, biases are evolutionary adaptations that helped our ancestors survive in a world full of dangers and limited resources. They allowed for quick decision-making in situations where hesitation could be fatal. In the modern world, however, these same mental shortcuts can sometimes lead us to flawed conclusions. Biases develop through a combination of our innate cognitive tendencies and our lived experiences. As we interact with the world, our brains create mental models and heuristics to help us process information more efficiently. While these shortcuts are often helpful, they can also lead to systematic errors in thinking, particularly when we're faced with complex or ambiguous situations. The impact of these biases on our perception and decision-making cannot be overstated. They can cause us to see patterns where none exist, to give undue weight to certain types of information while ignoring others, and to interpret new information in ways that confirm our existing beliefs. In essence, biases can distort our view of reality, sometimes subtly and sometimes dramatically. One of the most pervasive and well-known cognitive biases is confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring or discounting evidence that contradicts them. It's a powerful force that can lead us to maintain our beliefs even in the face of compelling contrary evidence. Another common bias is the anchoring bias, which refers to our tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive when making decisions. This initial anchor can significantly influence subsequent judgments, even if it's not particularly relevant or accurate. The availability heuristic is yet another bias that can profoundly affect our decision-making. This bias leads us to judge the likelihood of an event based on how easily we can recall similar instances. As a result, we often overestimate the probability of events that are vivid or emotionally charged, while underestimating the likelihood of less memorable occurrences. Recognizing these biases in ourselves and others is a crucial skill for effective persuasion. Self-reflection techniques can help us identify our own biases. This might involve regularly questioning our assumptions, seeking out diverse perspectives, and being open to the possibility that our initial judgments may be flawed. Observing behavioral cues can help us spot biases in others. For instance, someone who consistently dismisses information that contradicts their views might be exhibiting confirmation bias. Someone who places undue importance on a specific piece of information might be influenced by anchoring bias. However, recognizing biases is only the first step. The real challenge lies in navigating these biases ethically in our persuasive efforts. This involves a delicate balance between leveraging our understanding of biases to enhance communication effectiveness and respecting the autonomy and dignity of those we're trying to influence. One approach to ethical navigation of biases is to promote awareness. By educating others about cognitive biases, we can help them become more conscious of their own thought processes and potentially mitigate the impact of these biases. This transparency not only enhances the effectiveness of communication, but also builds trust by demonstrating a commitment to honest, open dialogue. At the same time, it's crucial to avoid manipulation. While our understanding of biases gives us powerful insights into human cognition, using this knowledge to exploit others' mental vulnerabilities is ethically questionable and ultimately counterproductive. Instead, we should strive to use our understanding of biases to present information in ways that are more likely to be fairly considered, while always respecting others' right to make their own decisions. There are several strategies we can employ to mitigate the impact of biases in persuasion. One powerful approach is to encourage critical thinking. By asking questions that challenge assumptions and prompt deeper reflection, we can help others overcome their biases and engage more fully with the information at hand. Presenting balanced information is another crucial strategy. By offering multiple perspectives and acknowledging potential counterarguments, we demonstrate objectivity and reduce the likelihood that our message will be dismissed due to perceived bias. Integrating bias awareness into our persuasive efforts involves tailoring our communication to address potential biases. This might mean presenting information in ways that don't trigger defensive reactions or structuring our arguments to overcome common cognitive pitfalls. Building credibility is also essential in this context. By consistently demonstrating objectivity and a commitment to balanced, factual communication, we can establish ourselves as trustworthy sources of information, making it more likely that our messages will be received favorably even when they challenge existing beliefs. To truly master the art of navigating cognitive biases in persuasion, practice is essential. One effective exercise is bias journaling. This involves regularly recording instances where you notice biases at play, either in your own thinking or in your interactions with others. By analyzing these instances, you can gain deeper insights into how biases operate and develop strategies for addressing them. Role-playing scenarios are another valuable tool for honing your skills in recognizing and responding to biases. By simulating various persuasive situations and practicing different approaches, you can refine your ability to navigate biases effectively in real-world interactions. As you begin to apply these principles and practices, you can expect to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you'll likely develop an improved awareness of how biases affect communication. You'll become more attuned to the subtle ways in which biases shape perceptions and decisions, both in yourself and in others. With continued effort and refinement, you can achieve an enhanced ability to mitigate biases in your persuasive efforts. You'll be able to craft messages that are more likely to be received fairly and considered thoughtfully, even when they challenge existing beliefs. At the highest level of mastery, you can develop the ability to influence ethically while respecting and overcoming cognitive biases. This involves not just avoiding the negative impacts of biases, but actively leveraging your understanding of human cognition to create more effective, more ethical, persuasive approaches. Of course, this journey is not without its challenges. One significant risk is the potential to unintentionally reinforce biases, either by framing information in ways that trigger existing biases or by failing to adequately address deeply ingrained cognitive patterns. The solution to this challenge lies in continual learning and the consistent application of bias mitigation techniques. Stay curious, remain open to new insights about human cognition, and always be willing to refine your approach based on new information and experiences. As we conclude this exploration of bias mechanics, we've unveiled the hidden forces that shape our perceptions and decisions. We've seen how understanding these cognitive quirks can enhance our persuasive effectiveness while also promoting more ethical, transparent communication. By recognizing and navigating biases skillfully, we set the stage for more impactful, more authentic influence. But as powerful as our rational minds are, they're not the whole story when it comes to persuasion. As we look ahead to our next chapter, we encounter a force that can override logic, bypass our cognitive defenses, and drive us to action in ways that reason alone never could. What is this mysterious power that speaks directly to the heart of human motivation? How can we harness it ethically to create truly transformative, persuasive experiences? Prepare to dive into the world of human emotion as we explore the next frontier of influence. Chapter 7: Emotional Resonance. In the vast landscape of human experience, there exists a force so powerful that it can move mountains, inspire revolutions, and forge unbreakable bonds. This force transcends logic, bypasses our rational defenses, and speaks directly to the core of who we are as human beings. It's a language more ancient than words, more profound than reason, and more persuasive than any logical argument could ever hope to be. As we embark on this chapter, we'll explore the hidden depths of this mysterious force, uncovering its secrets and learning how to harness its power in our persuasive efforts. But what exactly is this force that holds such sway over our thoughts, decisions, and actions? At its heart, this force is about connection. It's about tapping into the very essence of what makes us human, what drives us to act, to care, to strive for something greater than ourselves. This force is none other than emotion, the invisible current that runs through all human interaction and experience. The importance of emotion in the realm of persuasion cannot be overstated. While logical arguments and rational appeals certainly have their place, it's emotion that truly drives action. Think about the last time you were moved to make a significant change in your life or to support a cause. Chances are, it wasn't a dry recitation of facts that spurred you to action, but a deep emotional resonance with the message or situation. Emotions have this power because they're intrinsically linked to our values, our identities, and our deepest motivations. When we connect with others on an emotional level, we're not just exchanging information, we're creating a shared experience, a moment of genuine human connection. This emotional engagement fosters trust and rapport in a way that purely logical communication simply cannot match. But how exactly do emotions work in the context of persuasion? To understand this, we need to delve into the fascinating world of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. In the realm of persuasion, it's a superpower that allows us to create messages that truly resonate with our audience. The first step in harnessing the power of emotions is to understand the difference between emotional and rational appeals. Rational appeals focus on facts, logic, and reason. They're great for providing information and building a logical case for your position. Emotional appeals, on the other hand, tap into feelings, values, and personal experiences. They're powerful motivators that can inspire action and create lasting impressions. The key is not to choose between emotion and reason, but to understand when and how to use each effectively. Sometimes, a logical argument is exactly what's needed to convince someone. Other times, an emotional appeal will be far more effective in moving people to action. The most persuasive communicators know how to blend both, creating messages that are both intellectually sound and emotionally compelling. As we explore the landscape of emotions in persuasion, certain key emotions emerge as particularly powerful. Trust and confidence, for instance, are foundational emotions in any persuasive effort. When people trust you and feel confident in your message, they're far more likely to be open to your ideas and willing to take action. Fear and urgency are also potent emotional drivers, but they must be used carefully and ethically. While these emotions can motivate quick action, overuse or misuse can lead to anxiety, resistance, or even backlash. The key is to balance any appeal to fear or urgency with a clear, positive path forward. On the more positive end of the spectrum, joy and inspiration can be incredibly powerful in persuasion. These emotions open people up, make them more receptive to new ideas, and inspire them to engage positively with your message. When people feel uplifted and inspired, they're more likely to embrace change and take positive action. But knowing about these emotions is only the first step. The real art lies in how we engage with them in our persuasive efforts. This is where techniques like storytelling come into play. Stories are one of the most powerful tools we have for creating emotional connections. They allow us to package information in a way that's not only more memorable, but also more emotionally impactful. When crafting stories for persuasion, the goal is to create narratives that resonate with your audience's experiences, values, and aspirations. A well-told story can transport your audience, allowing them to experience emotions vicariously and connect with your message on a deeper level. Another powerful technique is the use of visual and sensory language. By evoking vivid imagery and engaging multiple senses in your communication, you can create a more immersive, emotionally rich experience for your audience. This doesn't mean you need to be flowery or overly descriptive. Rather, it's about choosing words and phrases that paint a clear picture and evoke specific feelings. Don't forget the power of nonverbal communication in emotional engagement. Your vocal tone, body language, and facial expressions all play crucial roles in conveying emotion and reinforcing your message. Ensuring that these nonverbal cues align with your words creates a sense of authenticity and congruence that enhances your emotional impact. Of course, emotional resonance isn't just about what you project. It's also about how you receive and respond to others' emotions. This is where active listening and empathy come into play. By truly listening to others and making an effort to understand their emotional state, you create a foundation of trust and mutual understanding. Understanding emotional cues involves paying attention to both verbal and nonverbal signals. The words people choose, their tone of voice, their body language, all of these provide valuable insights into their emotional state. By honing your ability to read these cues, you can tailor your communication to better resonate with your audience's emotional needs. Responding appropriately to others' emotions is equally important. This doesn't mean you need to agree with everything they say or feel, but rather that you acknowledge and validate their emotions. Simple phrases like, "I understand how you feel," or "that must be challenging," can go a long way in building emotional rapport. As powerful as emotions are in persuasion, it's crucial to maintain a balance between emotion and logic. While emotional appeals can be incredibly motivating, they need to be supported by solid facts and reasoning to be truly effective in the long term. The goal is to integrate facts with feelings, enhancing your credibility while still maintaining that all-important emotional connection. At the same time, it's important to avoid emotional overload. Too much emotional intensity can overwhelm your audience and actually detract from your message. The key is to use emotion strategically, creating peaks of emotional engagement while still maintaining overall clarity and coherence in your communication. The ethical use of emotional appeals in persuasion is a topic that deserves careful consideration. While emotions are powerful tools for influence, it's crucial to use them responsibly and with respect for your audience's autonomy. This means being authentic in your emotional expressions, avoiding manipulation or exploitation of vulnerabilities, and always aiming to promote positive outcomes. Respecting emotional boundaries involves being sensitive to your audience's comfort levels and not pushing them into emotional territories they're not ready to explore. It's about creating a safe space for emotional engagement where people feel free to express themselves without fear of judgment or exploitation. Promoting positive outcomes through emotional persuasion means focusing on empowerment and well-being. Instead of using fear or guilt as primary motivators, aim to inspire, uplift, and encourage. Help your audience envision positive futures and feel capable of achieving them. To truly master the art of emotional resonance in persuasion, practice is essential. One effective exercise is emotional story crafting. This involves developing stories that are not only compelling narratives, but also emotionally resonant with your target audience. Start by identifying the key emotions you want to evoke. Then build a story that naturally elicits those feelings while also conveying your core message. Another valuable practice is empathy enhancement. This can involve exercises like perspective taking, where you actively try to see situations from others' emotional viewpoints. Or you might engage in active listening exercises, focusing on identifying and responding to emotional cues in conversations. As you begin to apply these principles and practices, you can expect to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you'll likely notice an increased ability to connect emotionally with others. You'll find yourself more attuned to the emotional undercurrents in conversations and better able to respond in ways that build rapport and trust. With continued practice and refinement, you can achieve the ability to craft persuasive messages that truly inspire action. Your communication will become more impactful, more memorable, and more likely to motivate real change in your audience. At the highest level of mastery, you can develop the ability to leverage emotions for profound and lasting influence. This isn't about manipulating feelings for short-term gains, but about creating deep, authentic emotional connections that lead to meaningful, positive transformations. Of course, this journey is not without its challenges. One significant risk is the potential to overemphasize emotion, leading to perceptions of manipulation or insincerity. This can happen if your emotional appeals seem forced or if they're not backed up by substantive content. The solution to this challenge lies in maintaining a balance between emotion and logic, and always striving for authenticity in your communication. Be genuine in your emotional expressions, back up your appeals with solid facts and reasoning, and always be transparent about your intentions. As we conclude this exploration of emotional resonance, we've unveiled the profound power that emotions hold in the realm of persuasion. We've seen how understanding and skillfully engaging with emotions can transform our ability to connect, influence, and inspire. By mastering the art of emotional resonance, we set the stage for truly transformative, persuasive experiences. But as powerful as emotions are, they're just one piece of the persuasion puzzle. As we look ahead to our next chapter, we encounter a concept that challenges us to expand our perspective beyond individual interactions. What hidden forces shape the broader context of our persuasive efforts? How can we navigate the complex landscape of diverse audiences and ever-changing circumstances? Prepare to broaden your horizons as we explore the art of adapting our persuasive strategies to an ever-shifting world. Chapter 8, Strategic Adaptation. In the ever-shifting landscape of human interaction, there exists a quality so essential, so transformative, that it can mean the difference between success and failure in our persuasive efforts. This quality allows us to navigate the most complex social terrains, to connect with diverse individuals, and to thrive in even the most challenging circumstances. But what exactly is this mysterious attribute that holds such power? As we embark on this chapter, we'll uncover the secret to becoming a truly versatile influencer, capable of adapting your persuasive strategies to any situation or audience. This adaptability is not just a nice-to-have skill. It's a fundamental requirement for anyone seeking to master the art of persuasion in our diverse and rapidly changing world. At its core, This chapter is about developing a chameleon-like ability to blend into any environment, to speak the language of any audience, and to tailor your message to resonate in any context. But why is this adaptability so crucial? The answer lies in the limitations of one-size-fits-all approaches to persuasion. In today's complex world, rigid persuasion techniques that may work in one situation can fall flat in another. What convinces a colleague in a professional setting might alienate a friend in a personal conversation. The message that resonates with one demographic might be tone-deaf to another. By developing the ability to adapt your strategies, you enhance your effectiveness across a wide range of situations, dramatically expanding your sphere of influence. Moreover, this adaptability is key to overcoming the diverse challenges that inevitably arise in persuasive endeavors. When unexpected objections surface, when the context suddenly shifts, or when you find yourself facing an audience with unfamiliar cultural norms, it's your ability to adapt that will determine your success or failure. To truly grasp the power of adaptability in persuasion, we need to explore its foundations in theories of adaptive leadership and communication styles. Adaptive leadership teaches us that different situations require different approaches, and that true leadership involves reading the context and adjusting our strategies accordingly. Communication styles theory, on the other hand, helps us understand the diverse ways in which people prefer to give and receive information, allowing us to tailor our communication for maximum impact. The first step in developing this adaptive capability is to cultivate a deep awareness of the diverse situations we might encounter. This involves recognizing the fundamental differences between personal and professional settings, understanding how cultural contexts can shape communication norms, and being attuned to the subtle ways in which power dynamics and relationships influence persuasive interactions. But awareness alone is not enough. We must also develop the flexibility to respond to change, to adjust our strategies as circumstances evolve. This might mean shifting from a formal to a more casual tone mid-conversation, adapting our argument structure based on real-time feedback, or even completely changing our approach if we realize our initial strategy isn't working. Central to this adaptive approach is a deep understanding of your audience. This goes beyond surface-level demographics to encompass preferences, needs, values, and communication styles. By analyzing these characteristics, you can tailor your message to resonate more deeply with each specific individual or group. Understanding communication styles is particularly crucial. Some people prefer direct, fact-based communication, while others respond better to stories and emotional appeals. Some thrive on detailed explanations, while others prefer high-level overviews. By recognizing these preferences and adapting your style accordingly, you can dramatically enhance your ability to connect and persuade. Equally important is assessing the context of your persuasive efforts. Environmental factors such as the physical setting and timing can significantly impact the effectiveness of your message. A persuasive approach that works well in a formal boardroom might fall flat in a casual coffee shop meeting. Similarly, the timing of your message, whether it's delivered during a crisis, a period of change, or a time of stability, can greatly affect how it's received. Relationship dynamics also play a crucial role in shaping the context of persuasion. Power structures, whether formal or informal, can influence how your message is perceived. Prior interactions and existing relationships can create expectations or biases that you'll need to navigate. By carefully assessing these contextual factors, you can adapt your approach to fit the specific situation at hand. With a clear understanding of your audience and context, the next step is to tailor your message accordingly. This involves adjusting your language and tone to match the preferences and expectations of your audience. It might mean using technical jargon in a professional setting, but opting for simpler language in a public forum. It could involve adopting a more formal tone with some audiences and a more casual, conversational style with others. Choosing the right medium and channels for your message is also crucial. In today's digital age, we have a multitude of communication options at our disposal, from face-to-face conversations to social media platforms. Each has its strengths and weaknesses, and the key is to choose the one that best fits your message and your audience's preferences. As you develop your adaptive capabilities, you'll find yourself employing a range of strategies and techniques. The key is to remain flexible, ready to switch between different methods or combine techniques as the situation demands. This might involve blending logical arguments with emotional appeals or shifting from a collaborative to a more directive approach based on the needs of the moment. Crucial to this adaptive approach is the establishment of a continuous feedback loop. This involves constantly monitoring the effectiveness of your strategies and being ready to adjust in real time. Pay attention to verbal and nonverbal cues from your audience. Be open to direct feedback and be willing to pivot your approach if you're not getting the desired results. In our increasingly globalized world, developing cultural intelligence is an essential aspect of adaptive persuasion. This involves more than just avoiding cultural faux pas. It's about developing a deep awareness of how cultural norms shape communication and decision-making processes. By understanding and respecting these cultural differences, you can build more inclusive, effective communication strategies that resonate across diverse audiences. One of the most challenging aspects of persuasion is overcoming resistance. Here, too, an adaptive approach is crucial. Start by identifying the sources of objection. Are they rooted in logical disagreements, emotional barriers, or perhaps cultural misunderstandings? Once you've pinpointed the source of resistance, you can adapt your approach to address these specific concerns, providing reassurance, offering solutions, or reframing your message in a way that aligns better with your audience's perspective. To truly master the art of adaptive persuasion, practice is essential. One effective exercise is scenario analysis. This involves imagining or role-playing various persuasive situations and practicing how you would adapt your approach in each context. Start with familiar scenarios and gradually introduce more challenging or unfamiliar situations to stretch your adaptive capabilities. Another valuable practice is conducting a communication style assessment, both for yourself and for those you frequently interact with. By understanding your own default communication style and learning to recognize the styles of others, you can more effectively adapt your approach to create better connections and more persuasive interactions. As you begin to apply these principles and practices, you can expect to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you'll likely notice improved adaptability in familiar situations. You'll find yourself more comfortable adjusting your approach based on the person you're talking to or the specific context of the interaction. With continued effort and refinement, you can achieve effective persuasion across diverse contexts. You'll be able to navigate complex social and professional environments with ease, adapting your strategies to connect with a wide range of individuals and groups. At the highest level of mastery, you can develop the ability to influence anyone, anywhere, with tailored strategies. This doesn't mean you'll always get your way, but rather that you'll have the skills to approach any persuasive situation with confidence, creativity, and effectiveness. Of course, this journey towards adaptive mastery is not without its challenges. One significant risk is the potential to misread your audience or situation, leading to ineffective communication or even damaged relationships. This can happen when we make assumptions about people's preferences or cultural norms without sufficient information. The solution to this challenge lies in continually enhancing your situational awareness and actively seeking feedback. Practice active listening, ask clarifying questions, and be open to adjusting your perceptions. Remember, adaptability isn't just about changing your approach. It's also about being willing to update your understanding of the situation as new information emerges. As we conclude this exploration of strategic adaptation, we've unveiled the power of flexibility and contextual awareness in persuasion. We've seen how developing the ability to adapt our strategies can dramatically enhance our effectiveness across a wide range of situations and audiences. By mastering the art of adaptive persuasion, we set the stage for truly transformative influence, capable of navigating even the most complex and challenging environments. But as we reach the end of our journey through the realms of persuasion, we encounter a final frontier that promises to take our skills to new heights. What mysterious force can tie together all we've learned, transforming our understanding of influence from a set of techniques into a holistic, integrated approach? How can we continue to grow and evolve our persuasive abilities long after we've closed the pages of this book? Prepare to embark on the ultimate challenge as we explore the path to true mastery in the art of persuasion. Chapter 9, Mastery in Motion. As we reach the culmination of our journey through the intricate landscape of persuasion, we stand at the threshold of a new beginning. The principles, strategies, and insights we've explored throughout this book are not merely endpoints, but rather the foundation for a lifelong journey of growth and mastery in the art of influence. This final chapter is about taking that crucial step from knowledge to embodiment, from understanding to mastery. The concept of mastery in motion encapsulates the idea that true expertise is not a static state, but a dynamic, ever-evolving process. It's about integrating the first principles of persuasion we've explored into your daily practice, continuously refining your skills and adapting to new challenges. This approach ensures that your ability to influence others remains potent and relevant, no matter how the world around you changes. But what does this journey towards mastery look like in practice? How can you take the wealth of knowledge you've gained and transform it into a living, breathing part of who you are? First, let's consider how the insights and skills you've acquired throughout this book can empower you. You now possess a comprehensive toolkit for effective persuasion, ranging from understanding core human motivations to navigating cognitive biases, from harnessing the power of emotions to adapting your strategies across diverse contexts. This enhanced skill set allows you to influence effectively in a wide array of situations. Whether you're negotiating a business deal, inspiring a team, or simply trying to convince a friend to try something new. Moreover, this knowledge brings with it a newfound confidence. As you internalize these principles and practice these skills, you'll find yourself approaching persuasive situations with greater assurance. This isn't about becoming manipulative or overly aggressive. Rather, it's about trusting in your ability to connect authentically and communicate effectively with others. The impact of these enhanced persuasion skills extends far beyond just getting what you want. One of the most profound effects you'll likely notice is an improvement in your relationships. As you become more adept at understanding others' perspectives, communicating clearly, and finding win-win solutions, you'll find yourself building deeper, more meaningful connections with both personal and professional contacts. Your enhanced communication skills will foster greater understanding and empathy in your interactions. You'll be better equipped to truly listen to others, to understand their needs and motivations, and to express your own thoughts and feelings in ways that resonate. This mutual understanding forms the basis for stronger, more authentic relationships. With these new skills and perspectives, you'll find yourself able to navigate complex interactions that might have seemed daunting before. Challenging persuasion scenarios that once left you feeling stuck or frustrated will become opportunities to apply your newfound knowledge creatively. You'll be able to read situations more accurately, adapt your approach more fluidly, and find pathways to influence even in the most difficult circumstances. Perhaps most importantly, you'll have the ability to create lasting, positive impact through your influence. This isn't about short-term wins or manipulative tactics. It's about inspiring genuine change, fostering mutual understanding, and creating value for everyone involved in your interactions. As you continue to practice and refine the concepts from this book, you'll notice something remarkable. Your results will improve while the effort required diminishes. This is the power of consistent practice and skill refinement. Techniques that once required conscious effort will become second nature. You'll find yourself instinctively reading situations, adapting your communication style, and crafting persuasive messages with ease. This increased efficiency means you'll be able to achieve your desired outcomes more quickly and with less stress. But don't mistake this ease for complacency. The true beauty of mastery in motion is that it opens up new levels of growth and achievement. As basic skills become automatic, you'll free up mental resources to tackle more complex challenges and push the boundaries of your influence even further. Central to this journey of ongoing growth is the cultivation of a growth mindset. This means viewing every challenge, every setback, as an opportunity to learn and improve. It's about embracing change, seeking out new knowledge, and never allowing yourself to become complacent in your skills. Developing self-awareness is another crucial aspect of this journey. Regular self-reflection and mindfulness practices can help you stay attuned to your own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This awareness allows you to identify your strengths and weaknesses more accurately, enabling you to leverage your natural talents while consciously working to improve areas where you struggle. To truly embody mastery in motion, it's essential to create a personal development plan. This involves setting SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, for your ongoing growth in persuasion skills. Regularly track your progress, using both objective measures and feedback from others to gauge your improvement and adjust your approach as needed. Cultivating habits that support ongoing mastery is crucial. This means making the practice of persuasion skills a daily part of your life. Look for opportunities in every interaction to apply what you've learned, to experiment with new approaches, and to refine your techniques. Commit to lifelong learning, continuously seeking out new knowledge and perspectives that can enhance your persuasive abilities. Remember, mastery is not a solitary journey. Networking and collaboration play vital roles in your ongoing growth. Seek out mentors who can provide guidance and insight based on their own experiences. Engage in peer learning, sharing knowledge and challenges with others on similar paths. And don't forget the power of teaching. By sharing your knowledge with others, you not only contribute to their growth, but also deepen your own understanding. As you progress on this path of mastery, you'll inevitably encounter new challenges. The world of communication and influence is constantly evolving, with new technologies, cultural shifts, and global events reshaping the landscape of persuasion. Stay informed about these changes and be willing to innovate your strategies to remain effective in this dynamic environment. Now, as we reach the end of this book, it's time to unveil the ultimate payoff of your journey through these pages. The true power of mastery in motion lies not in any single technique or strategy, but in the transformation of your entire approach to influence and communication. You're no longer just applying persuasion techniques, you're embodying the principles of effective influence in every interaction. This embodiment means that your ability to persuade becomes an integral part of who you are, not just something you do. It's a shift from seeing persuasion as a series of tactics to understanding it as a fundamental way of connecting with and understanding others. This deep integration allows you to navigate even the most complex and challenging situations with grace, authenticity, and effectiveness. Moreover, this mastery extends beyond just achieving your own goals. You become a catalyst for positive change in your environment, able to bring people together, resolve conflicts, and inspire collective action towards shared goals. Your enhanced ability to understand and connect with others makes you a more empathetic leader, a more supportive friend, and a more influential force for good in your community. Perhaps the most profound aspect of this mastery is the sense of alignment it brings to your life. As you become more adept at understanding and influencing others, you also gain deeper insights into your own motivations, values, and goals. This self-awareness, combined with your enhanced ability to navigate social dynamics, allows you to shape your life and your environment in ways that truly resonate with your deepest aspirations. In essence, the ultimate payoff of mastery in motion is not just becoming a master of persuasion, but becoming a master of human connection and personal growth. It's about continuously evolving, adapting, and improving, not just in your ability to influence others, but in your capacity to understand, empathize, and create positive change in the world around you. As you close this book and step forward into your ongoing journey of mastery, remember that every interaction is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to make a positive impact. The principles and strategies you've learned are not just tools, but seeds of a new way of engaging with the world. Nurture these seeds with consistent practice, open-minded learning, and a commitment to authentic, ethical influence. Your journey towards mastery and persuasion is a lifelong adventure filled with challenges, discoveries, and profound rewards. Embrace this journey with enthusiasm, curiosity, and a commitment to continuous growth. The path of mastery is not always easy, but it is infinitely rewarding. As you move forward, remember that true mastery is not a destination, but a continuous process of growth and refinement. So, step confidently into your future, armed with the knowledge, skills, and mindset to become a true master of persuasion. The world awaits your influence, your insights, and your ability to create positive change. Yet, as you embark on this journey of mastery and persuasion, you may find yourself facing a new challenge: how to think more clearly and effectively in a world overflowing with information and complexity. The solution to this challenge lies in a powerful approach that can revolutionize your thinking and problem-solving abilities. To truly maximize the potential of your newfound persuasion skills and take your cognitive abilities to the next level, you need to explore the audiobook First Principles: The Radical Path to Critical Thinking. This essential guide will empower you to approach every challenge with a fresh, unbiased perspective, enabling you to deconstruct complex ideas and arrive at fundamental truths. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your thinking and unlock your full potential. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.